Okay, next we're going to have Jen Helsby, who is the lead developer for SecureDrop. And SecureDrop is really kind of the shining example of something that was literally a prototype when it started, when Aaron and Kevin Poulsen first made it. And it got handed over to the Freedom of the Press Foundation and given some love over there, and now Jen is in charge. And how many is? I know you say dozens of news organizations, but are we into like 30 or 40 or 50 or
50, 60?
Okay, and there really aren't very many major news organizations now that have not implemented a SecureDrop. An implementation is the way of putting it, right? And so it's very exciting, and she's going to give us an update and tell us all about it. Thanks, Jen.
Okay. Code is running at all of these news organizations, so we're proud to carry on his legacy. SecureDrop is seen as an industry standard. Many of these instances are individual news organizations. Others are media conglomerates. For example, in the case of Fairfax Media, where we have one SecureDrop that is serving multiple news organizations. Weirdly, it was also appeared in a TV show in the Secure Dump version, which is kind of cool. So does this work? What comes through SecureDrop? So I'm going to show a couple of examples from the past year. In most cases, news organizations don't say which stories come through SecureDrop for operational security reasons. In some cases, they do. So a few stories about Donald Trump. There's a lot of interest, obviously, in the project after Donald Trump came to power in the US. And a few stories like this one, which is about the legal battles between Donald Trump's lawyers and the developer of the application iTrump. This came in through SecureDrop, and a few other Trump-related leaks came in through SecureDrop. This is all public, what I'm saying. In another case, pretty recently, a couple of months ago, Motherboard got the full text of the controversial anti-diversity manifesto written by a Google developer earlier this year, and it was kind of cool in that they got it through SecureDrop multiple times from several different sources at Google, so they have like the history of the document, which is nice. And sometimes you just have typos coming in through SecureDrop, so that's good. But what we have heard from news organizations is that SecureDrop works, people are using it, and it's seen as a really indispensable tool for an investigative team. So how are sources finding out about it? So in some cases, this is a newspaper in Canada, and they just go ahead and put it on the front page of their newspaper so that everyone knows if they have a tip, they can go to this secure channel. Other news organizations put an ad in their newspaper, so the New York Times chose this approach. Inside the paper, they have directions on how you can send them a tip. And then every news organization has a tips page like this on the Intercepts page, which describes how you can access SecureDrop, and it always begins with downloading Tor. So if there's one thing you take away from tonight, hopefully it's that if you aren't already, please use Tor browser as much as possible. And maybe if you don't care about being anonymous online, which I think you do, but even if you don't, you should still use Tor because you're providing cover for those that really need it to stay safe, like SecureDrop sources, and a project like ours only works if everyone is using Tor and it's something that's mainstream and not considered weird or suspicious, so it's critical. So really quickly, how does SecureDrop work? A brief overview. So every organization running SecureDrop runs a server physically in the news organization, sometimes in the general counsel's office, and all traffic is routed through Tor. A source will log in through a web application. They have some documents they want to submit, and the web application looks like this. It's pretty simple. They submit the documents. They are using Tor browser for everything. And those documents then get stored encrypted on the SecureDrop server. Journalists come in every day or every week, and they will look at recent submissions. So this person will log in. They will log into another web application that looks like this, that download the documents, and then we'll take these documents to a special computer that is only ever used for viewing SecureDrop submissions. And the encryption key for those documents is stored on that machine. They're decrypted there. Little animation here. And at this point, the journalist can then strip out metadata, do whatever is necessary to publish stories based on this content. So this is obviously a very simplified view of what happens. But if you're interested and you think this is a worthwhile project, you should help us. And we're doing a hackathon here today. We had a lot of great contributions. And again, tomorrow. We're still quite a small project trying to do big things. So if you're interested to help us, one thing we could really use assistance with is translating SecureDrop. For the past 4 years, this has been an English language only project, which is why news organizations using it are in countries that primarily speak English. But we would love for SecureDrop to be in as many languages as possible. So please, if you speak a language that is not English, please come and help us. Or you can write a code or documentation. But yeah. Feel free to come and talk to me or any other SecureDrop people. So in the current political climate, in a time where leak investigations are increasing, tools like SecureDrop are more important than ever, and I invite all of you to join us in improving the project. Thanks.